long leg Anguirus, white Rodan, Godzilla with Gigan fins. These are just a couple of things that I just found on my deep dive of the Godzilla wiki. So I went through the Godzilla wiki in my free time today and found it's kind of the coolest thing. It has all of the unmade monsters and movies that we never got to see brought to life. And oh my gosh, the little Godzilla in me is just screaming. Also, yesterday made a short that never was brought to life and injured myself. If you like Godzilla content, go follow me. I post a ton on Instagram. So today for this video, I kind of wanted to go through a few of the unmade characters that were never brought to life, and then a few of the unmade movies that we never got to see in a real film. So I wanted to go through that real fast. The first thing that caught my eye was the Anguirus Hound. This thing is absolutely terrifying. It is of genuine horror. It was originally going to be made for a movie that was Godzilla versus Godzilla. I don't even think we've seen a Godzilla movie where it's a Godzilla versus another Godzilla. You can't really count Godzilla against Mechagodzilla because that's Kiryu, and I'm saying a literal Godzilla versus another Godzilla. I can't believe we've never had that. Anyways, the design of this, you can kind of see it's some really, really ugly shit. I mean, it's just kind of creepy. It makes me think of the Calcerns. If you guys ever saw that artist that did all the really long humanoid limbed, even past humanoid at this point, very detailed illustrations. Some of them, there was like a few that were like from Friends. There was a few from SpongeBob. I'm all about it, but it reminds me of that. And it's got this weird like dip in the middle almost. I don't really know what they were going for with this. I don't do things with long limbs. I will preach that for the rest of my life. If you can reach me and I can't reach you, we got a problem. Another one was a white Rodan. It was supposed to be the fire Rodan version from the Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. I'd like to think that it would have had this sort of glow, this almost red hue around it. That, I mean, you kind of see when Ghidorah in the Showa era has like the fire transforming around it. I think it would have been really cool if there was some sort of an updated version with this white Rodan, where when it was getting ready to like shoot its fire blast or something like that, that it went like red hot. She was apparently going to be white because she was attacked by a nuclear sub, and it gave her this white blue skin. Crystal blue Rodan. I need it. I don't know if you do. I do. There are literally dozens upon dozens upon dozens. I would definitely go look at them for yourself in your free time. But the other noteworthy one, the big three noteworthy ones for me, was the last one being Astro Godzilla. So this was supposed to take place of Space Godzilla when that movie came out in the Heisei era. But this variation didn't have it didn't look anything like Space Godzilla short of the Godzilla characteristics. From what I understand, they just didn't like the concept of this, and the Space Godzilla concept was what it transformed into by the end of the actual decision-making process. As for the movies, guys, we were supposed to have a Godzilla versus Hedorah 2. I think it would have been sick because in the what the concept was supposed to be is Godzilla fighting Hedorah, a different Hedorah, in Africa, having a second Hedorah, it's like a different one entirely. It would have been really cool to see. I don't know, like Africa, I don't believe has the same exact pollution as where the original movie took place in. So I think it would have been really neat to have Hedorah, but because it's sort of a different type of pollution, or it's in a different environment on Earth, that it had, I don't know, a different hue, a different color. Instead of red eyes, maybe it had like green eyes, just something creative like that. But I think that could have been a really great movie. That movie was just such a at the time ballsy move that it makes sense. But that's what they were supposed to originally have, is a sequel to Godzilla vs. Hedorah. There were also multiple movies that literally focused on single Godzilla villains. Like there was a Space Godzilla movie called A Space Godzilla, and that one was supposed to be literally just focusing on Space Godzilla rather than just a Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. There was also supposed to be a movie called The Volcano Monsters, which was Godzilla was more of a dinosaur type and Anguirus was more of a dinosaur type, like an Ankylosaurus and then a Tyrannosaurus. And they were supposed to have some sort of brawl. It was like similar to Raids again, but taking place as them being more dinosaur-like creatures, which was, I'm pretty sure that was the Americanized one. What can I say? As Americans, we just love our dinosaurs. In the Heisei era, we were also supposed to get a Godzilla versus King Kong. So there would have been, if we still had this one, there would have been 3 Godzilla King Kong combination movie. Oh my gosh, there would have been 5 because we've got two. We've got 2, and then 1 more on the way. Whatever, but yeah, we were supposed to get a Heisei version of that. There was also intentions on making a Godzilla versus Mechanic Kong. I'm good without that. The next one that I did know about that I didn't know the depth that they had already planned this though was the sequel to the Godzilla 1998. That's the movie I started on. Godzilla. I loved dinosaurs growing up, and when I was born in '97, but the sequel, everyone got frustrated about the '98 one because Godzilla didn't have a lot of Godzilla features. It was much more of a Jurassic Park paced type like, aesthetic movie. His design and everything, which if you like dinosaurs like me, that's a win. If you don't, that's an L. But I loved that movie. I still love that movie to this day. I know Toho had to sign this off, but wasn't there like 3 things in the contract that they were told not to do or told to do? He needs to stand upright or something like that. I knew he needed to breathe atomic breath, and I think he just couldn't die or something. I'm not involved enough to be able to explain to you what actually happened. All I know is we didn't get a sequel, and apparently in the sequel, this is what happens. He's apparently breathes atomic breath. We see some adolescent Godzillas in a pack, which is really cool. There's also a tremendous amount of dead Godzillas, I guess, in that movie. Something that is really cool, though, is apparently in the animated series, they started that off immediately where the second movie was supposed to pick up, and where Nick Totopoulos, he finds one of the baby Godzillas in the sewers, and, takes it, cares for it, shoos it away, all this stuff comes back years later, all these different things we apparently got in the Godzilla animated series. Even the villain, which was a termite type monster, was in the Godzilla animated series. It was the blue termite, worm? But they said, nope, not gonna do this trilogy, and they just let the rights run out. And then the last one was we were supposed to get a Godzilla versus Gamera. Within the last like 20, 30 years, we were supposed to get a Godzilla Gamera combo. But they realized that when it was brought to their attention and they sat on it, it was only going to feed the fans. It wasn't going to feed the general audience or filmmakers. So unfortunately, we never got that movie. But guys, that is literally just a handful of the stuff I found on there. If you're a Godzilla fan and you haven't explored that, I highly recommend you do, because it's very well curated and it's a very reliable website. But it's sick. It's so sick. I got a really long video on the way that I'll be uploading tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. And if I could give you guys any good advice that I learned recently, man, call a family member you miss. Okay? Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.